What it do, dirtbags? My name is Crucimix. How's it going? I'm having a pretty good day myself, about to catch a flight in a little bit, and I just smoked several cigarettes, so I'm having a little bit of a fun time. Just decided to make this video as fast as I can for you because it popped up on my radar and I had to talk about it. I know last week I promised you guys that I would cover the outcome of the Creator Clash drama, and I actually have that video recorded and uploaded, ready to go in about a week, but first I'd like to talk about this. I really gotta talk about this. It's imperative because IDUBBBZ just cannot stop throwing. See, yesterday IDUBBBZ released a little video saying, "I miss the old IDUBBBZ," in quotations. And you know, I was thinking his Weenie Hut Jr.'s Froggy Fresh video was just about as bad as it gets, but this is severely worse somehow. I mean, I've never seen such a tone-deaf, out-of-character, just terrible video, something so genuinely awful that I'd rather watch a less than 300 subscriber commentary channel than this. And you know, usually that's what I do. I'm a commentary channel. I like to take little clips and segments and just analyze why they're garbage, why they're bad, but instead, today I've decided to give you a little review instead. I'm going to show you clips still, obviously, but they're going to be out of context. They're not going to relate to what I'm talking about because they speak for themselves so succinctly that there's almost nothing I can say. So instead, I'd like to give for you a little overview as to how this is an absolute jump to the shark moment. But first, you're asking yourself, what kind of video is this? What was he talking about in it? Why is this such a bad thing in general? Well, basically, he starts off the video explaining why he needs to have the balls. Literally, quite literally says he needed the balls to apologize. This is 17 minutes of apology.
For a while, I felt like if I changed my content over time, that people would see that as a reflection of who I am and what I value. But I'm starting to realize that that is a very weak and passive way to, you know, run my channel and live my life. So I think it's, you know, if I'm going to have the balls to go to Tana's fan meetup and say slurs at her and then make a video about how it's okay to say slurs, I think I should have the balls to make an apology video and take accountability for the mistakes I've made. So that's what this video is.
He has decided the best course of action is to unlist all of his content cop videos so that you have to personally look them up if you want to watch them. He also directly apologized to all the people he made fun of in said content cop videos, and specifically Tana Mojo herself. He seems really distraught at the fact that he made fun of a woman, really made fun of her, really sent his fan base at her and attacked her, the very same woman who told him to end his life and called him the F-slur and all sorts of fun things like that. Yeah, he feels bad for her. He apparently just feels so bad for Keemstar and for Leafy and for Ricegum and all these other people. He apparently considers himself responsible for every little minuscule action his fan base has ever taken. Believes that he personally was somehow responsible for indoctrinating all these people, that he brought them into this edgelord incel cult. He personally goes in and analyzes his old arguments and mindset and claims they're wrong because, oh, they were just bigotry, they were just this or that, they were casual racism, guys. Even though he made excellent points, it was completely nuanced and had no hint of actual racism to it.
I was being very bigoted in a lot of my videos, and I justified it because, you know, I didn't think it was too serious. And I thought that people were going to see that I had good intentions, you know, but that's so silly, you know. Casual racism is still racism. Casual bigotry is still bigotry. And, you know, I said a lot of things that I look back at and I cringe now, and I'm like, that is an awful thing to say. It doesn't matter what my intentions are. Like, if I'm hurting people, I'm hurting people. And, you know, who the fuck knows what my intentions are? Like, sarcasm and like jokiness and jokey tone only goes so far, especially over the internet. Even in real life, that's like an impossible thing to know with 100% certainty. I've just always had this dumb philosophy that I'm not responsible for, you know, my audience and how they behave beyond what content I put out. And that's stupid. And it's led to a lot of hate and a lot of bad outcomes. And I just want to make it clear that I am absolutely responsible for my audience. And, you know, I guess if you want to, you know, look out for people who are red flags, it's definitely people who had my mentality that say, I'm not responsible for what my audience does.
All of this is to say that he has completely lost the capability to form rational arguments, ones that are logical in a way that gets you to side with him and believe what he says. I mean, if you watch the Froggy Fresh video, that much was already kind of clear, but now he's just coming out and saying it, that he literally cannot form a semblance of an idea of rationality. I mean, genuinely, all throughout this video, he says that rationality and intent do not matter. What matters is how your words affect other people, how they make them feel. Well, IDUBBBZ, I can safely say that your entire presence right now makes me feel a great sense of disgust and just uneasiness in general. You absolutely repulse me as of now. Also, it's kind of telling the absolute arrogance on display by thinking you somehow indoctrinated your fanbase into being edgelords. Is that really what you think? You're somehow a puppet master in control of all these people and you had to learn the consequences of your actions? No, that's not how this works. People found you entertaining because you made sound arguments and you presented yourself in a likable way. And it just so happened that that likable way was edginess. It was insulting, it was callousness, it was commentary, it was drama in a way that was insightful and interesting. You didn't make edgelords, edgelords found you. Actually, to be completely honest with you, it's the complete opposite. I mean, you didn't make edgelords, edgelords made you. I'm certainly not the first to say this, but after all the things you've gotten from your edginess in the past, all the prize, the money, the power that you've accumulated, the reasonability, the status on YouTube, it's just all thanks to the edgelords, and now that you've climbed the ladder, you're kicking it down for the rest of us. Honestly, IDUBBBZ and Ethan Klein are the main reason people now respect people like Leafy and Keemstar, because it was so clear the very second edginess stopped being profitable, these guys turned around and distanced themselves as far as they could from their pasts. I mean, every video now, IDUBBBZ is sitting here trying to explain, oh, I've changed, I feel differently than I did before, I no longer like those videos I used to be making. Like, yeah, dude, we know. That's why you're getting all the backlash, dude. It's like one day you wake up and you're like, oh, I've changed, I'm a different person, I'm feeling differently, I'm gonna go tie women to train tracks like a mustache-twirling villain. And then whenever someone comes to stop you, everyone's like, hey, wait a minute, isn't he allowed to change? Isn't he allowed to become a different person?
I don't feel like a lot of this content represents me as a person, at least not anymore. There was a time where it probably perfectly represented me because I was a nasty, apathetic, insecure person. Now that I don't feel like it represents me and I want to distance myself from it and keep it from, you know, indoctrinating more people, I'd like to unlist the videos so that people, you know, can access them still for whatever, you know, purposes they might want to do that for, but it's not being proliferated on the website. I feel like that's the best solution, at least for the time being.
You're a sellout, dude. You're corporate. You're one of the suits. That's why no one's on board with this. From the corporate response you gave whenever you kicked Froggy Fresh with the creator clash, just a blanket paragraph and nothing else, and then waiting an entire month to actually say anything with your actual words, your own voice, an entire month of nothing but a corporate, empty, soulless response to this video right here. This video doesn't sound like an apology to anyone. It sounds like desperately begging for corporate entities to see you as anything other than the edgelord you started off as. This is the kind of thing you release before trying to get a deal with Disney. I mean, at least the Froggy Fresh video, if you were like a fan of IDUBBBZ, you would see that as like, oh, it's pretty solid. If you only watched that video, you would agree with his argument maybe, but this isn't for anyone. Anyone human is going to listen to this and just laugh and scoff. It's so insincere and hollow that it's genuinely repulsive. Bro has sank so low that he has less edge and humanity than a corporate Twitter account. From school bully to brown-nosing teacher's pet, it's absolutely just insane to me that it's gone this far. And you know, a lot of people blame Anissa, they're like, oh, get rid of Yoko Ono and all this, but I genuinely think that at this point there's no redemption for IDUBBBZ. I don't blame her, I don't blame the people around him, I just think IDUBBBZ has sank so low that there's no real coming back. There's no real leaving of this situation. He's dug himself into such a deep hole that he's refusing to leave. I genuinely think he believes this is the only way up, but it's the only way down. Like, it is the only way to self-destruct this quickly. I mean, if you look at the like-dislike ratio on any of these videos, I know you have to get an attachment, you have to get like a Google add-on to see them, but if you actually go out and do that and look, they're 50-50 on a good day, usually worse. You've lost all respect of your contemporaries. I mean, in your Froggy Fresh video, you called out several people who were kind of the draws to your event because they they were in the crowd, they were part of it. It was fun to see creators at Creator Clash watching Creator Clash, and now it's just nothing. The man known for ending people's careers is now kind of calling an end to his own. He's kind of calling for everyone in the YouTube sphere to just hate him, and it's just disappointing. I mean, this isn't going to end him completely, but it's definitely going to reduce his fan base down to the bare essential of Redditors and teenage girls. Yeah, did you know that? Emperor Lemon actually pointed this out recently. I didn't know this. Apparently H3 and IDUBBBZ, their main target demographic is teenage girls, which is definitely not an upsetting fact whenever you realize he's kind of very adamant about being pro-sex work. Remember guys, edginess is very bad. You should never be edgy. Edgy is just a terrible thing. He was saying awful things all the time, but degeneracy is great. Market degeneracy to children, that's amazing. I swear, talking about IDUBBBZ is making me sound like one of those far-right kind of conservative people, and I just don't give a shit about politics. It's just this level of degeneracy is like triggering some Pavlovian response in my brain. I mean, you want to talk about like indoctrinating a fan base, this just seems kind of repulsive. It's horrible. Really, genuinely, this is not the right way to do things. I hate this. I mean, I'm not insinuating he's like a pedophile or whatever, I just don't like the marketing strategy here. I find it kind of just horrible. It reminds me of that South Park episode where like the Jonas Brothers are being made by Disney to sell sex to kids. Just imagine Mickey Mouse beating the crap out of IDUBBBZ and forcing him to do this. Anyway, that's about enough of that for today. Thank you so much for watching. I know this was a bit more of a serious video and a lot less comedy than I usually do, but I really had to get this out of the way because I'm about to go away for a little bit. I'm gonna be gone for a month, so I've pre-recorded a bunch of videos and I really hope you guys enjoy them, so if you want to watch those, if you want to stick around and catch up on a little bit of Crucifix action, definitely subscribe. I also have a Twitter if you want to check me out there. My name is, has been, and will be Crucifix in the foreseeable future. Thank you so much for watching. I love you. Goodbye.
See it the way Toonami could never give it to you, with nudity and more violence.
You'll pay for that, you worm!
Outlaw Star, available now on DVD.